awesome 21st birthday with the Gordie Howe hat trick, goal, an assist, and a fight. We're going to bottle up some lightning, and we're weighing in on the trade deadline, so hopefully Kyle Davidson's watching. Of course he's watching. Why? Right? Because who doesn't? It's the Blackhawks Daily, folks. Thank you for being here. Come on in. I'm your host, PJ. This is your home for the real daily story on the Chicago Blackhawks. No fuss, no muss. Just me, a fan, hanging out with his Hawks homies. That's you guys. And, we're talking hockey. We're talking a little general smack. So it's all good. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. We're at 761. And would love to have you aboard as we're pushing to get over 1,000. So that would be fantastic. So on today's docket, we eked it out in Carolina. And then we're talking about Tampa Bay Lightning coming to the UC tonight. And are we looking at selling or staying and fighting for the rest of the season? Let's see. Oh, and then, of course, we're going to cap it off with your awesome comments. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the Hurricanes. Because last night, the Chicago Blackhawks went into Raleigh and pulled out a 4-3 shootout win over Carolina. And it wasn't just some sleepy, fluky thing either. This game had swings, answers, and a legit, okay, there's a response, feel to it. Oliver Moore ends it in the shootout on his 21st birthday, no less. And Spencer Knight slams the door when it matters to get the Hawks 2 huge points. That's how you steal one on the road. So let's walk it down real quick. Chicago gets on the board first with, of course, Mr. Mikheyev, and it's not even an even strength. He scores shorthanded, sets the tone early. Gotta love the shorthandies, right? Carolina pushes back, ties it, and from there it's basically a track meet with momentum shifting every period. The Hawks score in regulation with Connor Murphy, Mikheyev, and Nick Lardis. Man, he keeps coming in, which is awesome. And Carolina keeps answering to force extra time, right? We go into overtime, nobody finishes it, and then the shootout, and Moore almost got us a win in the shootout, but he got stopped. But then in the shootout, Moore buries it, Knight handles the business, and we close it out. So here's the big thing for me. Spencer Knight has now stacked another strong night. He made 28 saves in regulation and overtime. He's coming off of that shootout earlier this week. It's not nothing, right? This goalie is giving our team a chance to win every single night. So our 3 studs, Spencer Knight, road game, pressure moments, and he was calm. Big saves late, big saves in OT. He delivers in the shootout. Oliver Moore, I don't care if it's just a shootout goal. Those count. And it's a game winner. And doing it on his 21st birthday makes it even sweeter. I actually remember, even though I did everything not to remember my 21st birthday, but mine wasn't like Mr. Oliver Moore's. So happy birthday, buddy. Amazing way to cap off your birthday. And then, of course, Ilya Mikheyev, shorthanded goal. And then that early strike matters. You get the road lead against a good team. You put them in chase mode, right? 3 things to work on. Let's try to finish in regulation. Hawks led multiple times against Carolina. We're going to take the 2 points, but it would have been better to close them out in 60 minutes. Clean up the stretches after scoring. There were moments where Chicago scores and then immediately have to weather a big push. Better teams make you pay there. And then keep the defensive details tight late. 3rd period overtime. 1 missed coverage flips the night. The effort was there. The execution has to stay sharp. So what do you guys think? Drop your 3 studs in the comments and tell me, was this the best that Knights looked as a Hawk so far? I don't know. He was really, really solid. Oh, and, sorry, I forgot to do this. Real quick, let's get the box score because I always like looking at the box score. So, Chicago 4, Carolina 3. We only had 22 shots. Got to get that shot volume up. We won, so I'm not poo-pooing it, but would love that shot count up. They had 31 shots. We had 14 block shots to their 6. We had 22 hits to their 29. We had 21 faceoffs won. They had 39. Oof. We were 0 for 1 on the power play, but we killed 5 power plays. They were 0 for 5. So, yeah, strong game. Strong. All right. Moving on from there, let's talk about tonight. So here's what tonight means. Like right now, coming off that gutsy win in Carolina, the Hawks just went into Raleigh, of course, pulled out that 4-3 shootout, right? And it wasn't just a nice effort, moral victory. It was a legit bankable 2 points against a top team. You got Oliver Moore in the shootout winner, Connor Bedard scoring in a shootout as well, Spencer Knight standing on his head with 28 saves, right? That's straight from the league recap, right? That's great. But what does this Lightning game mean after that Carolina win? It means we got to prove that it wasn't a one-off. It means we got to turn one big road win into a mini run. And it means we show the United Center that this group can stack good habits, especially against elite opponents. Carolina was no joke, neither's Tampa Bay. Because Tampa Bay's coming in as Tampa, right? Heavy skill, dangerous power play looks, and that you blink, it's 2-0 capability. And yes, we're going to be checking this out because it's going to be a great game. So here's the 3 things that we got to look forward to, or we got to look for. Can the Hawks survive the first 10 minutes? If Chicago wants points tonight, we can't spot Tampa early momentum. Against those top teams, we're not working our way into it. Either we're ready or we're fishing pucks out of the net. And the second thing is discipline and penalty killing. Keep it boring. If the Hawks are living in the box, you're basically asking Tampa to put on a clinic. The encouraging part is the Hawks just showed real structure in Carolina and got it done. That game included a massive goaltending performance and timely plays. We're going to need that again. And what drives offense behind Bedard? Because Tampa can load up on Connor. And if the Hawks' second wave doesn't threaten, this turns into a low-event game where Lightning's finishers usually win. I'm watching guys like Bertuzzi to keep being a problem around the net. I'm watching the young legs more, especially, right? Building off of last night's energy, because speed is one way you can force Tampa's D to turn. So, a lot of people have this as Lightning taking it. I'm going to say 4-3. You know, I'm going to say the same thing as last night, except we're going to win in overtime. 4-3 overtime win. That's what I'm saying. You know, look, it's a stretch, right? Tampa's a monster, but the Hawks are playing with more bite right now, and coming off a win in Carolina, I don't know. I think we can carry some confidence in the building. This one feels like it stays tight. I think we're gonna sneak it out. My Hawks prediction: if Knight is in goal, if we get a point, we steal 2. I think it's Knight. I don't know if we're gonna play him back to back, especially after a road victory. It might be Soderblom, who is great. If Soderblom's in goal, I think my stud tonight is going to be Bedard. I think he needs to come back and really state his presence again. Actually, it would be awesome if Nazar did it, but I'm going to stick with, if it's not Spencer in goal, I'm going to go Bedard. All right. Let me know what you guys think. What's your prediction? Let me know in the old comments. All right. Moving on from there. Let's get into the topic that might ruffle some feathers, but it's a conversation we have to have as we get closer to March. We've been talking about this a little bit now on the channel. We're looking at the trade deadline. The big question is, what should Kyle Davidson do, right? There's a really interesting piece that came out by Matteo Giuliano over at the Hockey Writers. He's making a case that I think a lot of you are starting to feel in your gut. The Blackhawks can't be sellers at the deadline. Now, I know what a lot of you have already put your comments up, which have been awesome. We know what you're thinking, right? We're sitting at 6 points out of a playoff spot in the crowded West. Usually, when you're outside looking in, the playbook tells you to sell off your vets, grab some picks, keep building for someday. But Giuliano's point, and I'm starting to lean this way too, is someday needs to be now. We got to start looking at it now. So think about it. We've gone through Connor Bedard's entire entry-level contract without being a serious playoff threat. In a salary cap world, having elite talent like Bedard at a low cost is the ultimate cheat code for a GM. It's the window where you're supposed to surround that cheap elite talent with pieces to win. We're at the end of that ELC window, and the roster's finally filling up with young studs like Vlasic and Nazar and Lardis. The argument here is that we don't need more draft picks. We have a mountain of them, actually. What we need is proven talent with term. So look at what the San Jose Sharks just did. They're in a similar spot, young stars like Celebrini on ELCs. They just went out and traded for Kiefer Sherwood from Vancouver. They're trying to speed up the rebuild because they realize you can't just stay in prospect mode forever. You have to start winning games, showing these young guys what a winning culture actually looks like. And the Hawks are in a perfect position to be aggressive. We have $13.4 million in cap space right now, and that's projected to jump to nearly $48 million next season, with the cap potentially hitting $104 million. Yes, KD has to pay Bedard this summer, no doubt. And that's going to be a massive ticket. But even after that, there's a boatload of money to play with. Plus, look at the assets. We have 5 picks in the first 2 rounds of this year's drafts. We have our own first, Florida's first, and 3 second-rounders. Davidson could trade for a legitimate top 6 impact player and still keep our own first-round pick. The market's starting to separate. Teams like Vancouver and the Rangers are looking to move pieces. The Blues and Jets are struggling. There are players out there who could help this team not just maybe make a wild card this year, but ensure that we're a threat next season. It's time to stop looking at the draft board and start looking at the standings. Kyle Davidson has the picks. He has the cap space. He has the superstar. It's time to make a swing and bring some real firepower to old 1901 West Madison. So what do you guys think? Are you ready to see the Hawks be buyers for once, or do you want to still keep stockpiling picks? Let me know in the comments. And speaking of those comments, we got them. We only got a couple today, but that's fine. We got Lester, 701, the commander, repeat offender extraordinaire in the comment section. Hello, PJ and Blackhawks homies. Stay safe, stay warm. Yeah, today is, it's brutal. It's brutal out there. I hope you are warm. And also, stay warm in your spirit. PJ, sorry, I meant 7-4 Blackhawks against Carolina, not against the Kings Vitamins. Hey, if the boys can get a wild card spot, any playoff experience will benefit them, no matter how far they go or not. It would be fun for us fans. So, that's awesome. Oh, and he's saying, sharing the podcast again on my daily blog, Boldly Speaking, and other sites that I'm on, helping the cause. Thank you so much, Lester. You're doing the job. We're climbing in subscriptions, folks. Love that. Thank you for everyone's effort in that, and thank you for your contribution there, Mr. Lester. And then, of course, Joshua Bauman, 3209, another repeat offender extraordinaire. Moore and Bedard sink the shootout. Only caught the 3rd period after work, but what a show. So glad to see our boys win on the road against the top team in the league. Good to see Hall, but I'm glad that he lost. On to the next top team in the Lightning. Let's keep this going. And how can I forget Nazar? Hopefully he can shake the rust off and give himself the net. Absolutely true, buddy. I want to see Nazar score, right? Let's get him off the schneid. Let's get him back early, get some momentum. That would be amazing. So thank you for your contribution as well. And that's a wrap for today, Blackhawks Nation. If you are new, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. Help us get over 1,000. Like I mentioned, we're at 761. We're climbing. And if you're a regular, thank you so much for your support. As always, it's an absolute honor building this community with you. So we celebrate the very best team in hockey with the very best fans in all of sports, in the greatest city on earth. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a warm weekend because it's going to be cold out there. Let's go Hawks tonight. Let's beat Tampa Bay. And stay safe, my friends. I'm PJ Benoit. We'll see you next time on the Blackhawks Daily.